white nationalist list has been published. It's a hit list online. The DOJ has charged a few people, put it up full mass. DOJ has charged Matthew Robert Allison, 37, of Idaho, and Dallas Erin Humber, 34, of Elk Grove, California, on charges of soliciting hate crimes, soliciting murder of federal officials, and conspiring to provide material to support terrorists. Now, let me get to the nitty-gritty of this. They have all allegedly ran a white nationalist online platform and terrorist group that directs its followers to off government officials, Black people, and Jewish people, as well as, of course, immigrants. With millions watching and many people benefiting from this program called Indisputable, we just need 1% of the viewers to become a paid member so we can continue to bring this content to you. Now back to the show. Allison and Humber, arrested last week, were leaders in the Telegram Collective, a transitional terrorism group that operates a network of channels and group chats on the digital messaging platform Telegram. Telegram solicited users to commit bias-motivated attacks against groups it deemed to be enemies of the white race, including Black, immigrant, LGBTQ, and Jewish people. Attacks on government infrastructure and attacks on high-value targets, including politicians and government officials, the indictment said. I encourage everyone watching this segment to go back and look at my interview with the investigative reporter from Raw Story, because he went in deep in these organizations and found the exact same thing, that they literally had a protocol to get young white nationalists to commit these very same crimes. Humber and Allison, who became leaders of the group in 2022 after a previous leader was arrested and charged with terrorism offenses, used the platform to publish a list of targets they wanted their followers to assassinate. Their hit list includes the targets' names, home addresses, and photograph, and sometimes a photo of the target's residence. People named in the list were targeted because of race, religion, national origin, sexual orientation, and or gender identity. A U.S. senator was targeted for being an anti-white, anti-gun Jewish senator, while a federal district court judge was described on the list as an invader from a foreign country who had ruled on an immigration issue in an objectionable way. A U.S. attorney who was described with a racial slur. It continues. Prosecutors say Allison and Humber provided instructions, provided guidance to equip Telegram users to carry out those attacks, including manuals, videos, and audiobooks on how to make explosives, including napalm, chlorine gas, pipe bombs, letter bombs, etc. How to attack critical infrastructure, such as government buildings and energy facilities. How to run a terror cell. How to write a manifesto. How to select, promote, and celebrate attacks on target, propaganda. In response to the protests in France, they wrote this. Humber posted a photo of a sniper aiming a rifle with the caption, quote, "Message, armed and potentially lethal French bros, don't cower in your rooms, waiting for the N-word riots to stop. Instead, load your magazine and get cozy. You know what to do. Don't second guess your racial duty. Don't breathe a word of what you're planning to anyone. And make every shot count," end quote. When they were arrested, the pair were in the process of creating the Saint Encyclopedia, a Telegram publication that celebrates white supremacist attackers in history, many of them mass murderers, as heroes of the white race, saints, and urges users to follow their path to sainthood by committing attacks in the name of Telegram. The indictment charges Humber and Allison with a total of 15 counts, including 1 count of conspiracy, 4 counts of soliciting hate crimes, 3 counts of soliciting the murder of federal officials, 3 counts of doxing federal officials, 1 count of threatening communications, 2 counts of distributing bomb-making instructions, and 1 count of conspiring to provide material to support terrorism. If they each face 220 years in prison if convicted of every charge. This is where we are. 8 years of Obama didn't bring you here. 4 years of Trump did. And Trump is trying to come back with a vengeance. Now they have gone beyond the white pride in their earthly existence. They're now telling you, in order to go to heaven, in order to become a saint, you must affect racist slaughter in the United States of America. Yasmin, thoughts here? Okay, you're on
All
mute.
right, it's messing with my mic again. All right. Yeah, they're talking about these people are the enemies of their race. And it's like they really are living in a fantasy land. Like, who do they think is actively coming for them? Most people are just trying to live their lives. They want to be left alone. If anything, they're trying to defend themselves against people who are actually their admitted enemies, the people who are trying to commit hate crimes against them, the people who are trying to take their rights away, the people who are trying to deport them to who even knows where, the people who are actually trying to kill them. And these beliefs are dangerous, but they're not surprising because, as you said, we got here because Trump has normalized a lot of this very racist and very divisive rhetoric. It's a great way to mobilize people, especially to violence. You just do it by convincing them that people are coming from for them, whether or not there's any evidence to support those beliefs, or even when there is evidence to support the exact opposite.
That's right.
But then they just argue that whatever actions they're taking are really preventative. They have to attack first because if they don't, they'll get attacked. Maybe, maybe not. I was just talking to someone about this the other night. So many issues that we have in the world, like war and hate crimes, racism, that kind of thing. A lot of it would just stop if people stopped. If they
That's right.
stopped doing what they were, if they just did a little bit less, right? But they'll never stop because all it takes is for one person to perceive that there is a threat that they need to act against preemptively. And then they just start doing things again, which is the opposite of stopping. And on top of that, there's all of the dogma that's wrapped up in these actions and beliefs. And that is very, very difficult to stop and to shift.
Yeah, we're going to update as updates come. Obviously, this is a story that has to remain in the forefront.